Hey, Slater Crusaders. Mike Slater, filling in for Buck Sexton here on Hold the Line. Thanks for being here. Let's talk about gender, shall we? Because of this from our vice president. She sent this out yesterday. President Biden and I released the first ever national gender strategy. This is our vision for the future of our nation. One that is bold in strategy and one that this moment calls for. Their gender equity plan. Okay, fine, I'll bite. Can we start with the fact that there are two genders, not two strategies, two gender? Can we start there? Because we seem to have some confusion over that. It seems like a thing we should come to agreement on first before we proceed with any strategy. I imagine the boardroom meeting, all right guys, we got a national gender strategy. All right, very first question, how many are there? 8, 12, 0, there's just no gender, all one, like, 2. It's 2. I got 2 points here I want to make in our remaining minutes. First, the waves of feminism. Have you heard of these? The waves, the different waves of feminism. My point here is that they're all the same. There's 3 waves that people talk about. The first wave of feminism was 1848, and it was about the woman's right to vote. Then you had the second wave in the 1960s, and that was about abortion and women working. And now we're in the third wave today, which is God knows what. Right? Like women are men, men are women. You could switch, you could flip. Bruce Jenner's the woman of the year. It's a whole mess, right? That's the third wave that we're in right now. Now, a lot of conservatives even will make the claim that the first wave of feminism was good and noble, and it got hijacked and turned into the second and third wave, which is crazy and all that. So people will criticize the third wave and the second wave, but they'll do it and be like, oh, but the first wave was good. I'm here to tell you the first wave wasn't. Most people will criticize the third wave of feminism. A few will criticize the second. But only a brave few souls are here. The few, the foolish, yours truly, to criticize the first wave of feminism. But I am a member of the patriarchy, so what more would you expect, I suppose? I want to rebuke the idea that the first wave, the second wave, and the third wave are fundamentally different at all. They're not. So let's go back to the first wave of feminism here. And I'll go to their source document, the Declaration of Sentiments. This is from the Seneca Falls Convention, written in 1848. It was written by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott. There's about 10 or so different principles that they outline in the Declaration of Sentiments. The second one was about the women's right to vote. That's the one that people know them for. But there were more. I want to highlight 5 of them here. All right? Number 1, this is what they wrote. The history of mankind is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations on the part of man towards woman, having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over her. So there's the patriarchy at work, the tyrannical patriarchy right from the jump. Number 2, in the covenant of marriage, she is compelled to promise obedience to her husband, he becoming, in all intents and purposes, her master. Wait a second, I thought the first wave of feminism was about voting. Now we have marriage issues here? Number 3, he has monopolized nearly all the profitable employments. So now it's about women working. I thought that's what the second wave was about. Nope, that's what the first wave was about too. Number 4, he allows her in church, but a subordinate position, claiming apostolic authority for her exclusion from the ministry. So what they're doing there is they're attacking 1 Timothy 2, which talks about how the women should not be preachers or have leadership positions in the church. So this is the feminist movement taking an anti-Christian stance right from the jump, 1848. The strain of atheism and communism, which we'll get to in a second, is not a new addition to the feminist movement. It's right from the beginning. And if we don't have time to it today, but a history of Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and you can see why she is a heretic. I'll tell you this. She wrote something called the Woman's Bible, right? And she said that she wanted Jewish mythology, which is what she considered Christianity to be, Jewish mythology, to be on the same level as Persian mythology, Egyptian mythology, and Greek mythology. But so she wrote the Woman's Bible. Okay, she's a heretic. And you see it reflected in the Seneca Falls statement. Fifth one, he has created a false public sentiment by giving to the world a different code of morals for men and women. Okay, so here we are right from the jump, feminism talking about sexual immorality. That's what that's about. Those are the women of 1848. It's doing the exact same brand of feminism as Taylor Swift and Katy Perry's pop feminism of today, which is, why are men allowed to sleep around but women aren't?